Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So, my birthday was yesterday, and I woke up to so much good news. I looked at different things that may have happened yesterday or other days, but the news came to me when I woke up. um, the first thing that I saw when I woke up was that Brittany Griner is finally free. She is home to be with her family, and she has when I last saw it, she was like boarding the plane and different things like that. But I believe she's touched it down by now, and she's actually at home with her family. She's going to have a long road to recovery, but I am so glad that the U.S. was able to negotiate for her release. One of the things that touched my heart so much was the fact that there's a gentleman that is still in the Russian prisons, and his family was so gracious. His family was so gracious at the news that Brittany Griner was going to be set free, and she was going to be able to go home to her family. And so I'm hoping and praying that the U.S. continue the negotiations for him, and that he will be okay, and that he will come home, and things like that. I want to do a live that's separate about him and his family, but I'm sending prayers for them. Another piece of good news that I got is John Batiste, who used to do the music for Stephen Colbert. I've tried to follow him and his musical career. He got on the board of Juilliard, and think so. I wanted to extend my congratulations to him. I think that is fabulous. Um, my Two of my favorite actresses won, and my two of my favorite shows won. Um, Ellen Pompeo. I'm trying to read it off my iPad on the side. The female TV star of 2022 is Ellen Pompeo from Grey's Anatomy. I mean, I have rewatched Grey's Anatomy so many times. It's actually just a little bit shameful. I've watched it so many times, and I cannot get enough of it. I was so ready for season 19 to come out, and we've gotten a couple of episodes. So I'm looking forward to seeing where season 19 goes. I know that we're going to get the next episodes from season 19 in February. I believe is what they announced, but Ellen Pompeo is kind of stepping back a little bit from the show, so we won't see her as much. So I'm really going to miss her. Her character is Meredith in the show, so I'm really gonna miss Meredith. We're gonna have to see how this goes, how the show kind of picks up from there and moves on, because almost all of the original cast is gone except two people. So we'll have to see how that goes. Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU is another one of my favorites. She is um, the drama TV star of 2022, and she has done an awesome job playing Olivia Benson, Captain Olivia Benson. So I stopped watching the show many years ago, and I only started watching it again when Stabler came back. And so there was that crossover between introducing his new show, which is Organized Crime, I think is what it's called. And then there was like a crossover with SVU, and you could see Elliot and Olivia seeing each other again. There was always such good chemistry between those two people, those two characters. And so I started watching the show again, and then got hooked on Organized Crime as well. So I'm really happy for her. Congratulations. I think she has done such a good job. Like, if you start watching SVU from season 1 all the way till now, you can just see the growth in her character. And not to mention that, and I think this has been said enough, but it can still be said, that her show brings attention to some of the issues that we kind of shy away from in our society. And when she portrays the captain, and even when she was just, a regular officer or detective, you could see the love and care and gentleness that she had with whomever it was that walked through the door. It didn't matter where they had come from. It didn't matter what their background story was. Her deal was always like, I'm going to make sure that our team helps you. And so she sends a really good, she sets a really good example for the rest of us, in that if somebody is going through a struggle or they've been hurt or injured in some way, that's not the time to start, talking about where they came from and how they got here and all this stuff. It's the time to help them. Later will be time to talk about all the rest of the stuff that's happened. But at that point in that moment in time, it's better to just help the individual and help them to get to the place that they need to be. Congratulations to Grey's Anatomy, Ellen Pompeo, and to Law and Order SVU, Mariska Hargitay. The two of you have done an awesome, awesome job. I look forward to seeing all that is to come from these two actresses in the upcoming future. One of the stories that I need to follow up on that I just saw the headline, is the Philadelphia Boy in the Box. So the Philadelphia Boy in the Box story, um, it probably showed up in my algorithm because I'm always looking at either missing persons or unidentified persons. I have done a couple of videos with missing persons and things like that in order to just bring attention to them. I just go to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children and I screenshot the poster, and I just display, the poster, and talk about when the person, because on the poster it'll talk about the age of the person, when they went missing, where they were, and then any other possible descriptors of like clothing that they were wearing and different things like that at that time. There are a lot of kids that have gone missing, and when you check you look at the internet to see if there's been any movement on the case, there's not been movement on a lot of cases. So I'm pretty sure that if we share these posters and things like that as often as we can, we will get somewhere. I know there's a story I saw the other day. It was a 51-year-old woman who was reunited with her family, and she was a missing and exploited person when she was a baby. So she had not, she had been kidnapped from her family, and she hadn't seen her family since she was a baby, and her family hadn't seen her. And so it's many years later. So one thing that's improved our ability to identify people is the DNA, the process of DNA that's become so much better as the years have gone by. And so I'm hoping and praying that more and more people will continue to be identified, and things like that as we go along. So those are some of the good news stories that I woke up to. And as I was scrolling through my feed, I got to see those stories and I picked them out. I also decided to write in my journal the YouTube channels, my favorite YouTube channels, because what I've noticed is that some of my favorite YouTube channels will disappear for a while. And it's not that they're not producing videos, it's just that they just don't pop up for whatever reason. And I've clicked like the notification and all that stuff. So I decided to write down my favorite YouTube channels. These are not all that there are. I have more favorite YouTube channels, but I just, haven't written it all down. But I have two vegan chefs that I watch, Cheap Lazy Vegan, and Nikki Vegan. They're both vegan cooking channels. There's Dome Life, which is a nomad channel. There's Kendall Ray, who does true crime. There's Abia Bina, who does, she's a nomad and more like a spiritual kind. Timothy Ward, who's a nomad as well. Christina Randall, she does true crime. Adventure Van Man, so Adventure Van Man, he's a nomad. Brooke and Pippa are nomads. Van City Van Life, is a nomad. Uh, Grace and Grit, that's homeschooling channel, homeschooling mom. Rooted in Rest is a homeschooling channel. Eamon and Beck are nomads. And then Ava, and I forget her last name, it starts with a C. I have to find what her last name is and then write it down in here. But so I'm trying to keep track of my favorite YouTube channels so I don't miss their videos when they come out, and things like that. So in the comments, write down the good news stories that you have, so share some good news with all the rest of us. And then also, if you have any favorite YouTube channels that I should be checking out, because I have a variety, like as you can tell, it's like nomads, true crime, and homeschooling moms and families that I look at, because I find them all fascinating. Maybe that's why the algorithm is kind of thrown off, and it's like, okay, which video should I show her? Because I have so many different ones. But let me know in the comments what you guys watch as far as YouTube channels, and then also let me know some good news that you may have. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.